Hi, Kate. Good to see you. You're the first one joining in. So let me just take you live, Kate. Yep. Hi, Prasad. How are you? Hi, Kriti.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's been too long. Do I need to sit down a little bit lower or can you see me?
Um, like we always do, we do a check on the video. So give me a second. I'm going to check on the other phone if you're both visible.
Okay,
And give me a second and I shall give you an update on that.
great.
How have you been otherwise? It's been ages. Like
I
I'm speaking to you
know.
after
I'm feeling so good. I feel so blessed and thankful. Back from Los
completely
Angeles.
completely my pleasure. This is how you look if you just want to take a glimpse of.
Fabulous.
So I think, yeah, I think you're pretty much visible overall.
How is it going, Ankit? It's been too long. Too many years have gone by.
It's been years, I think. I don't know. When was your last trip here to India, Kate? Because I think it's been 4 years now.
I was there at the end of 2018, 17, 2017, but I was in Bangalore. I didn't get to come to the beautiful New Delhi.
Right. And when was your Delhi trip last? Because I remember meeting you, I think 3 or 4 years back or something,
Was
approximately.
it 2015? Was it?
Yeah, I think that's the
Uh,
time.
Judging the Mrs. India worldwide. Do you remember? That was fun.
Yes, yes. No, but you've had two trips to India, right? One trip was for Mrs. India, and then you came later again, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, your
That's
memory's
when,
better than mine.
yes, absolutely. Because I remember when we met for the first time for Mrs. India, that was the
Yes,
time you and I just had connected and we got to know each other and got friends. But later, for a shoot, I remember we met.
yes. And forgive my lockdown hair. I'm seeing myself now thinking, ah!
But you're looking fabulous. That's no problem at all.
Thank
So,
you.
Kate, welcome to Candid with Ankit Nagpal.
Lovely to be here, and hello to everybody that's joined. I hope you're all doing good.
Absolutely. I welcome everybody here because we have you as a special guest, and we are going to have this a little. See, there are a little segment to this show, so I'll just tell you quickly what it is. So the first segment is more professional. So we'll talk a
Okay.
little bit about your professional side of it. Then we'll go on to a little personal, and then we have viewers' question with us. Some viewers have sent me some questions for you, and
Okay.
then we have a contest for all the viewers because we have gift hampers by my gifting partners for the
Okay.
show. That's Royal Accessories, and I have Gem Minds. There are two companies which are associated with me here.
So sweet. How fun to be here. Thank you,
So
everybody.
I've created this like a proper show.
Lovely.
Awesome. So, Kate, let's begin. There are a few questions that I had in my mind to ask you always, but just that, we never had this conversation ever that I could ask you this. That, you're a person who's got multiple things with you. Like there are a lot of feathers on your hat, I would say. You're an actress, you are a model, you're a bass player, you're a radio host. So there are so many things. You're a former beauty queen. So there are so many things with you. I mean, my first question comes is, what is something that you would like me to address you as? If you have to
Bless
choose
you.
something, one thing that you need to choose.
I think I like the fact that I can't be addressed as anything. I'm such a mixture of things, which is a bit like what I am. I'm a chameleon in the sense that I love being an entrepreneur and working with different things. And because there's so many things that I enjoy, be it whether it's spiritually, whether it's nature, whether it's modeling or acting, I like to dip into all of them. Whether that's a good thing, I don't know, but I enjoy it.
So great. I think, like I started the introduction, that you are a multi-talented person for sure. So this is also something that I needed to ask you, Kate, that how was this journey? Like, I think your initial first step to the glamour side, to the modeling end, was basically from you being a beauty queen.
That's
Am
correct.
I right with that? So how was that journey to reach there?
Well, what it was, I had a very bad disease when I was 16, meningitis, and I was in hospital with it, bacterial meningitis and septicemia. And an agency called me from where I was in hospital, and they said that you've been chosen out of hundreds as a model on the car show Top Gear. I don't know if you've heard of the car show Top Gear, but I'm
No.
sure some of you
Yeah.
have. Very famous car show in England. So I got chosen for that. So that took me down the modelling route. And it was my mum who said, I think I'm going to, she sent my picture off to the beauty pageants, Miss England, Miss Great Britain, behind my back. And next thing I knew, I was in the pageants and making some of the best friends ever. I've still got the best friends today, my best friend Jane and a few other girls. And it was such fun to be in the beauty pageants. Not at all vain. I think we all enjoyed the social aspect of it. And then the stage side was really fun too, because we got to do lots of choreography and dancing. So it was great.
Right. Wonderful. So, Kit, I was going through your entire profile, and because, of course, we do a little bit of research while you speak to a guest. So,
Yes.
I saw somewhere where it was written that when you were 3 years of your age, at that time you were the most, you were called as the bony girl.
Yes, I was the funniest baby. I think it was in Ireland, and my mum said out of all the other little babies, I was the most chatty. So, and they smiled, so they crowned me as the winner, which was fun. I don't remember, of course.
So good. You had that in you from the time when you were literally 3 years old.
Yeah, I just
You were
love,
made to be like it said somewhere that you were born to be on stage. Is that
I
true?
love
Somewhere I
it.
read that as well.
I think I do better on stage sometimes than in real life.
So, Kate, while everybody knew that you're going to be online with me, so a lot of people did ask me that they really want to know, how do you prepare yourself to be to be into a pageant and finally come out to be a winner. You're a former beauty queen. So
Thank you.
everybody want to know your journey specifically to that line of being into pageants and modeling, because probably they want to take that inspiration from you and understand how they can prepare themselves.
Okay, I believe the best way to do it is be yourself. Did I do any strict regimes when it was when I was 17 to 20 years old. I looked after myself, like I'm drinking hot water, ginger and lemon. I do that every day. Look after your skin, look after your hair. And but the most important thing is to look after your mind, because you've just got to go out there and be yourself. Be happy, and if you're peaceful, that centered feeling will resonate when you're out there on the stage talking to the judges, being very calm. And I think your inner beauty will shine through as much as what you've got to offer on the outside. So just focus and be who you are and let your spirit shine through. That's very important. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I see a lot of messages flowing in. In fact, I quite agree with you, Kate, because I have been also judging a lot of shows, a lot of beauty pageants here in India, and have been giving some grooming workshops as well. And, I have been saying this, which kind of matches with what you are saying. It does match with your statement that it's not about just being beautiful. It's an overall, you're an overall package to be a winner. So it has to be your confidence, it has to be your speaking, it has to be your gesture, it has to be your question answer rounds, everything. Overall, your confidence and stuff.
The humility, the compassion, those factors shine through a lot more than, our beauty will fade one day, won't it? But when we're in the pageants, it's good to get out there and show what you have, but also bring out the inner. They want to see the inner personality.
Sure. So Kate, there are different things, like I said, which are attached to you when you say you've been into modeling, but one thing I did not know for sure until and unless I was talking to you for this show, that you've been a radio host, which I had no idea about.
Yes.
Anything on that? Like, you like to educate me on that, because I had no idea about it.
Well, I set up the Out There network, and I'm going to be setting up the podcast side of it soon. And that is all about, it can be anything from space. I have a fascination with space, all the planets. It can be anything extraterrestrial, so UFO side of things. It can be the science. It can be, like I say, you know, any phenomenons that anybody has witnessed in the dark of the night. Could be, because my podcast will be from about midnight in England to 2 a.m. In the dark of the night, and people can call in and talk to me about their experiences. Also spiritual revelations. It's a big net that can bring in a lot of things to discuss. So I'm really excited about that at the moment. And the more I talk to people about this project that I'm working on at the Out There Network, a lot of people are embarrassed to bring up such topics because they always think that somebody will think they're a bit crazy. So they're very happy that they've got a platform to air their voices on with this new subject that I'm doing. So it's good fun. It's going to be very exciting.
So, Kate, does it happen that because you speak to so many people and, I believe a lot of people you hear there, you kind of help them, give them suggestions, they kind of reach out to you for a lot of things, with their issues and stuff, something which has left a real big impact with you, or something that you would say that, yes, it's left a scar in your mind somewhere, somebody's story?
I mean, I'm an empath, so I feel everybody's feelings, and I've got to learn how to not absorb so many. I feel a lot of energies. I don't know if you've read about empaths, but I'm reading the Empath Survival Guide at the moment, and it's very hard for me to not put my all into every one of those emotions. And when you're getting a lot in, you don't leave anything for yourself. Sure. So there's a fine line. I feel very sad for what's going on in the world at the moment. And, as we know, it's been a very tough few months for everybody. Right. All I can say is I try to be there for my friends and for my fans as much as I can. And just keep your spirit strong and keep your faith, whatever your faith may be. And, everybody just stay strong at this moment.
So, Kate, I think the advice that you've given is fantastic, because this is a time when people really are, a lot of people I know, especially the ones who are very used to being out and they're workaholic and they're being locked in. And there are a lot of things which are, whether it's depression or it's anything. It can be, a lot of things that are happening, and you can't really imagine that what somebody is going through. It can be, there are people who've got financial matters. Yes. It can be anything.
Anxiety,
so I'm going to connect
attacks.
Everything. In fact, I'm going to now connect something which is very recent here in India, and which wasn't there. This news wasn't there, it just came out. It broke an hour back. That here in India there was a very senior, young, actually, just I think a 34-year-old Bollywood actor who committed suicide. Yeah, he committed suicide.
God bless
him. This just happened, like just an hour back we got this news. So, gosh. And it's said that he was suffering from depression, and there were a lot of things. It may not be because of the current situation in general. So, any advice on that you'll want to give to the viewers? Anything that you'd like to say to them?
Well, it's always the ones that you don't think are the ones that are suffering with these suicidal thoughts or depression. I mean, I have previously suffered anxiety, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm in my 30s now, but in my 20s, I had very bad panic attacks. And I could be in a room full of people and have the biggest smile on my face, and inside I'd be like so anxious, and my heart would be racing. You know the feelings of a panic attack.
Yeah.
So my thing is check in on your neighbours, check in on those near to you, check in on the ones that look like they're doing good in life, the high flyers, and the ones that are acting, the ones that you would never think were suffering. Because when we are depressed or anxious, we become the best actors of masking that with a smile and making people think we're absolutely fine. And deep down, when we close our bedroom doors at night, we're actually really struggling. So just to check in on near people that you know close by can go a very long way.
I think you can actually save lives because that's what we talk about. There are a lot of people who do not talk about their issues and their personal matters for whatever reason it may be, which
Yes,
probably leads them to such a decision that they probably take, which is quite sad and I mean not something which can make anybody happy. So it's quite a sad news that we just heard. But
yes,
so yes, Kit, I know you have a very strong connection with India. I know that you've traveled, you love India, and you know you're one person because I've literally spent time with you for a day when you had a shoot, and you know,
yes,
so how has it been different in terms of because you travel around the world, you travel different countries. I remember I was speaking to you 2 or 3 days back, and you just landed, you were jet
yes,
lagged. So
yes,
how do you feel that being in your own country, you've been a former winner, you've been a beauty winner. So now a beauty queen winner, and now when you travel in the other country as a jury, as a judge, as a groomer, as an you know to inspire other people, what's that
yes.
feeling like, and what's the difference do you feel in specifically in India? I'll ask you, India and in your own country.
Well, as you know, like you said, India's will always have a special place in my heart, and I'm missing it right now. I love India, and that's why I always have to keep coming back there and spending time there because there is no place quite like it on this planet, and it just activates something in me that's very magical every time I come. And being in England is wonderful because I've been stuck in Los Angeles for 4 months with the whole lockdown. So every flight was cancelled. And our boy Danny, I went over to Los Angeles and left Danny with my parents because he had school. So as a mother,
Yeah.
as a parent, you don't want to break the routine of education to go for a little project in America. So I left him in the care and keep of my mum and dad. And then the virus hit, and we were stuck in LA for 4 months. So to be home with
Oh.
Danny is amazing, thank God. I'm the happiest mummy in the world.
So good. I think this is the time everybody is spending, you know, with the family. That's the time we are getting, all of us. Like in the
Yes,
kind of profession I am, and you're well versed with the kind of profession I'm into. It's
of
very
course.
difficult for me to be home, to spend time at home, and I'm doing that, and I'm quite loving it. Of course, now it's become a little monotonous, but initially
Yeah,
it was good. Like initial 2 3 months, this was good, but we are
I
almost on
think it
the
was.
fourth
It's
month.
been it's been very sad what's happened with the world and everybody that's suffered. But I think it's been great that the wheel stopped churning and everybody had to halt and get off for a bit, and just realize how we can't take these things for granted. You know, I'm reading more books than I've ever read, and I'm meditating more. I've just planted a hanging basket outside with beautiful flowers in. I'd take you out, but the signal will go. So I think we're all doing things we've not done in a long time. So we should
Sure.
cherish that. This is a time that we should make the most of it whilst we're still on the lockdown before everybody rushes back to work.
I agree. I agree completely with you. In fact, I've been you know I've never done this though because I've always had a very messed up routine with my life. So now that I'm getting up, I'm waking up early. I am feeding birds. I'm pouring water for them. So I see these parrots and these lovely birds there on my roof. So yeah, that's an experience I've never had. I've never got the time to do so. So, but
Exactly.
interesting. Okay, but I'm going to go a little back to your line of your profession because this is a segment we are talking on that, and we go a little personal there. So quickly, these
Absolutely.
little two, three things that I want to ask you. You've been blessed with, you know, you're pretty tall. I mean, in terms of
Yes.
your height. So
Five
is
foot
that
ten.
a
I'm 5'11 3/4 actually. I thought I was 5'10, and then the nurse said a few weeks ago I'm 5'11 3/4. I think I've grown. Is that possible?
and how are you comfortable with heels? Do you how I mean, what's how many inches can you wear like comfortably over and above your
Comfortably. Well, I'd probably wear about that, and then that's it. You know, um, any higher than that is ridiculous. I think I look like a gazelle, so that would be enough.
That's true. I was like half your, you know, when I have a picture with you, and
I
you know,
know.
there's
I
one
saw that the
picture.
other day. Yeah.
There's this one picture where I don't post anywhere because literally, like, we're on the same platform. I can't even go on a step higher to match your height, and you're like this tall. So, Kate, is that do you think is that something which in modeling is a big issue when a lot of girls tend to go for modeling, or even guys for that matter? Do you think height is something which can be a sort of a constraint, or can stop their career, or you feel it's okay? It's the kind of the modeling what they want to do.
It depends on the modelling that they're doing. I mean, you know, the height is great for catwalk, but there's so many other dimensions to the modelling. So how they photograph and how they look for the area of modelling they want to go into is what counts. I mean, the height is only needed, as I say, for catwalk. So being my height is perfect for all the showstopper jobs that I've done previously, which are fun.
No, fabulous. You've been doing wonderful stuff. I've been following your updates as well. And so I'm picking up a few viewers' questions while I'm chatting with you because I don't want to put it like a special segment there later. So
Okay.
a lot of people also get confused, Kate, between how do you define a model and a supermodel?
Wow. How do you define a model and a supermodel? I guess a supermodel like Naomi Campbell and Claudia Schiffer years ago, Kate Moss, when they have the worldwide stardom, when they're recognised in all the countries. And then the model is just the model who's awesome in herself and will either achieve that or she just keeps on doing what she loves.
Okay. Well said. In fact, because that's one question that comes very often. In fact, when we take auditions here, there are a lot of people who come and say that we'll ask them, why are you in this profession? Why are you here? And, so they'll be like, sir, we are here because you want to be a supermodel. So we do always ask them that, I mean, that is something, I know it's something that you really want to be, but what are the steps are you taking before you come for an audition? And we
Yeah.
often ask them the same question and they're clueless. So this is one very interesting thing that you mentioned, of course. But going forward, Kate, also that I want to know, when you're on stage, a lot of times, a lot of contestants are very, very nervous when they're on the stage. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they're very confident. They're very confident. Their communication skills are awesome. They can answer the questions. They're preparing. Everything
Yeah.
is cool. But the minute when they're on stage, they're nervous. You can see it
Yeah.
with their body language. You can see their fingers being rubbed. Those are things that we see as a jury member. So what's an advice you would want to give to all these contestants who are on pageants on stage at that moment when probably they are giving their introduction or a question and answer round?
I think personally, I love being on stage, but I do remember back when, I don't get nervous now, but I do remember back when I would get nervous. And I just take a moment for myself. I'll just take a few breaths. I'll remember who I am, and I'll somehow blank out the audience when I walk out there and just walk out as if I'm walking out as me, as a being. My spirit is going out onto the stage, and I'm in my power. And I remember that feeling, I center myself, and that's the way I go. And then the rest, goes on from there. So
I think that's the time
just be relaxed. Try to relax.
So I think that is also time that they need on stage actually, but of course they don't have that time. You can't give somebody a minute or two but that's I think it's all a game of how mentally strong are you.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I think yeah.
The most important thing is to go out there and enjoy yourself. When you're enjoying yourself and you're obviously doing it because it's something that you enjoy, then you really are going to shine.
So I think I don't know how right is this, but this is something also. There is this suggestion I always give to all my contestants as well, saying that don't go with a lot of pressure. Don't go with that feeling that you have to win. Of course, that has to be in you at the end of the day, that you're in a competition, you need to win the crown. But the more pressure you go with, you tend to fumble. And the more probably, the less burden you have on your head, you perform better.
That's right. That's it. Just be at ease with yourself. You'll be great.
Fantastic.
Just feel that.
So So when I have Kate saying yes to what I advise, then I'm happy.
Exactly. And if the
I'm on the
girl,
right track.
for the beauty pageants, I'm also an ambassador for the fantastic advanced hair studios. There's one in
Mhm.
Delhi, there's one in Bangalore. They're all over the world, advanced hair studios, and they're in India especially, and the UK, Australia. And for the hair, they are a fantastic hair company, not just for girls who want extra length in their hair, but also for the males out there that might be, which isn't, it's not bad to talk about this, but there might be some males out there who are suffering hair loss or going a little bald. Advanced Hair Studios is the biggest, largest hair replacement company out there. So it's a little plug for them because they're just fantastic. They've looked after my hair for quite a few years now. And
And
for
I
when
know
you're on
you,
stage, you want your hair to look brilliant. So it makes sense.
but how much I know you, like in person, you are very conscious and you are very careful about your hair. That's something that you are extremely very careful. I remember while we were doing the shoot with you,
Yes,
you love that princess look on you. I remember that's something you love on yourself.
everybody loves
Am
to
I
look
right?
like a princess.
Is my memory correct? Like, am I spot on? You're very,
Yeah,
very particular about your hair.
I, I look after it. Obviously, this is lockdown hair. Do not look at my hair right now, ladies and gentlemen. Um, but thank you. Oh, thank you, Risha. Oh, she's so sweet. She's put us, Ankit, you're an amazing soul. And Kate, you're beautiful. God bless. God bless you, Risha. So sweet. I've just seen all the little comments.
Yeah, no,
Um,
thank you so much. Yes, absolutely.
yeah, you remember me very well, Ankit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So I must welcome all the guests who are joining in, and so I'm in conversation with Kate Elizabeth, and she's a wonderful person. Of course, I've known her for now almost 7 or 8 years. I think
Gosh,
2012 or 13 was your first. I mean, that's the time I met you. I think
true.
for Mrs. India. So it's been
Yeah.
a long time. It's been a great journey.
Sorry, I
So
just the
yes,
mother
so
just looked at
welcome.
the screen. Carry on.
So welcome everybody. So I'll go into the personal bit a bit. A few questions I want to ask you, Kate. But before I
Personal.
go
Oh
there,
my gosh.
no, you should be more nervous when I'm going to go into my rapid fire round. I have a rapid
Okay.
fire questions for you also. So personal is still going to be okay. So it's going to be a cakewalk for you. But yeah, Kate, what are you as a person? How do you describe yourself? Are you you're an emotional person? You're an introvert, or you love
I'm
being out?
crazy. I think I'm crazy. No. Um, how, I'm very loving, caring mummy because I'm a mother as well. I'm a family girl. I like the simple life. I like nature. I love the countryside. I love where I'm from in England because it's very hilly, lots of sheep and animals. Um, I like I like my friends. I'm down to earth, and I have a sense of humour. I like to have fun.
That I know. So, kid, this has never come to you like that stardom and that I've never seen you having that kind of an attitude. I've never seen you, being rude with anybody. I've never seen you. Like, I've seen you in real. I've spent like days with you. Like, we were shooting and I met you
Yeah,
otherwise for lunch.
absolutely.
I have never seen you being arrogant. I've never seen you having that kind of an attitude. While you are a supermodel, you are a beauty queen, you're an actress. There's so many things with you. How is that? Like, is this just that you're very careful about in particular, or
I
it's just
think
you?
no. I just love people, and growing up in my teenage years, I did all those jobs. I did a job. I was a cake shop. I sold cream cakes. I worked as a hostess in a restaurant where you're
Nice.
serving the public.
Yeah.
So I've been on that side. So I never want to get above my station with anything like that. I love people too much. I love like they say, don't they? There's a famous quote where you should treat the CEO of a company the same way as you treat the janitor, you know? And I really believe that. Everybody is equal. There's nobody that's more than the other. And if they are, they've been lucky. and they've worked hard, but they've been lucky. A lot of it is luck, who knows? But I love people, and I just care for people.
Sure, sure, wonderful. I think that's
I
something
hate to be
makes a lot
rude
of
to
people.
anybody.
But trust me, Kate, while I always, for all the audiences, I always refer the time that you were in India and I've seen you working. And I think that's very true because a lot of people could connect with you. So while the photographer was even,
Yeah.
doing a few clicks with you, that person
Yeah.
was comfortable enough to, to ask you to pose like this and so on. And,
Yeah.
you did never had those tantrums that, I've given one shot and that's enough. And I'm not doing another shot for you. So that's not happened at all with you.
No, well, because I feel that the photographer, I want him to get his shot. Then he's going to be happy in his job. So, I mean, you have to draw a line at some point. But I'm compassionate, as much as I can be.
So are you, so I have these beautiful comments coming. I don't want to ignore them actually because they're beautiful and they're coming from people I know and you know them as well.
Thank you,
So
Vicky.
Kate, Vicky has put a nice message for you saying, Kate, you're beautiful in and out and a pure soul.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much. I think
So
I
Kate,
just my mantra is I've always been a bit of a free spirit. So I wouldn't call it, I'm not a gypsy, but a free spirit. So I love all the elements of the earth, the nature, and I'd say that's how you'd best describe me.
I'll keep that in mind for the future. I know what to write you when I write you the first message. So, Kate, are you very spiritually you are inclined? Like you mentioned, do you do yoga and do you do other things for your
Yeah,
fitness because you're quite in shape, you're quite petite. So,
I do.
what's that like? What do you do?
I do yoga. I do breathing exercises. I do meditation. I believe in being present in the now moment. A lot of us are rushing through moments. Some of us are, some of us aren't. And I try to remember the very present moment as much as possible and live in that area. And that's when you're mostly living, not looking for, a lot of people, we all look like, oh, I really want to buy those heels or I really need that handbag. Don't let the now moment waste away with all those wants, if you can.
This is my connecting question from professional to personal, and you kind of answered that. I was about to ask you, are you a shopaholic? I was just about to
Oh,
ask you that.
I do love shopping. That is a bit of a problem with me. I do love that, but yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, this took you a few seconds. You were not so candid about it. You were thinking whether I should like be upfront and say a yes, or I should like.
No, I was hearing all the voices of my mother and my dad saying, "You've got too many handbags."
So how's Danny, by the way? How is he doing? Because I haven't seen him lately in any of your posts because you were probably not even here now that you've come back home. How is he
Yeah,
doing?
well,
I mean,
he's great. We obviously landed and had to quarantine because flying, so I couldn't go near him and hug him for a week. And then I've seen him since, and he's such a bright, independent, happy soul. He's a little comedian. He really is. He's so funny. And he's only 8 years old. So he makes me laugh. I love him so much. I'm so happy to be home. And I'm never going
superb.
on
I
an
love the.
airplane without him again.
So I have somebody who's writing saying a lady can't ever have enough handbags.
Thank you, Dom. That's true. I better buy another one.
I would say handbags and heels. I'll add something else as well. Even heels, right? Even footwear. I think girls
Heels
can't
are
have
fun.
enough.
Exactly.
So Kate, this time while you've been in lockdown, or even time when you're a bit free, because now I'm going to a little sort of personal questions with you, is what do you do usually do? Like, I would not term it like your hobbies or something. I would not kind of confine to that. But what do you do usually? Like, what do you like doing around this
I love
time
play.
when you have time for yourself?
I love gardening, so I've just made this hanging basket outside, which is fabulous, with all the compost and the flowers. I like tennis. I get out as much as possible in nature. So anything outdoors, I love to do. I love horse riding. I used to compete with horse. I had my own horse and used to compete. And I'm setting up my own modelling agency at the moment here in England. So that is fun, building the website for that and getting all my people on the books. So lots of different projects.
But no wonder that now I know the connect, because you took me for a polo match. If you remember, we had
I
gone for a
know,
polo match
yeah.
when you were in India.
That was
So
fun,
now I know
wasn't
that
it?
love, the love you have for all the horses, and you love doing horse riding. So that's where it comes from, I guess.
Definitely. They're such divine, ethereal beings, horses. I love horses.
But do you get that time for yourself though? I wanted to ask you this as well, because you're involved in so many things. Do you get this time because you're hosting a show? And I mean,
Yeah,
is it only because of the lockdown, or do you specifically like keep in mind that no, I need these many hours for all this that you like?
I've fortunately got a great family support, and I'm looked after, and in that I can juggle what I need to. I always hope that I'm giving enough time to Danny and Jackson, and I am. Everybody tells me you are, stop worrying. And so I balance it. It's all a balance, isn't it?
Do you cook? Do you get time to cook, or
I cook.
like
I
do you
only
do
seem
cook?
to. I do cook, but I cook more when I'm in India. I love curry. Absolutely love curry, and I miss that food out there. I miss the dal and the rotis and the Bangalore biryani, and then I love the Delhi cuisine as well. It's also delicious.
But you've stayed along. Like your last Bangalore trip was pretty for a very long time while you were here.
Yes.
I think 2018, 17, 18 you were here. So
Yeah. 17, end of 17 through to 18.
yeah. So was it something that you really like in your cuisine that you did cook while you went back, like while you're back home?
Yes, yeah, exactly. I learned a lot with Indian cuisine, so I do make curries here, and everybody loves my curries here. I just want to say hi to Alman, and Sam Rick has written you love Hill. I don't know what that. Oh, Hills of Fish. What's Hills of Fish? Is that like Hills of Fish? I like Kerala for the fish and Goa. I love the fish in Goa. Anyway.
But I can see some lovely comments come from everyone. So, Kate, just a quick question that I want to ask. That's something which it's your choice how much you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But you were related to somebody who's very well known in India from
Yes.
the music industry, and Lucky Ali has been a singer and a composer, and as many of us, we've loved his songs. We've all like kind of many of us. I mean, I've grown up hearing those songs as well. So that entire now that you guys aren't together,
Mhm.
so are you guys still in touch? Like, do you still talk, or do you? I mean, it may be just a very personal question, but I'm quite curious to know that.
Of course we are. I mean, of course, Danny. We have Danny, so we're in touch. We're in communication. It would be weird otherwise, you know. And everybody's peaceful. Everybody's really happy. I've moved on, and Muksu, Lucky, he's happy. He's settled in Bangalore, so it's good. I can say that with a good feeling. Thank God.
My reason to ask you this very specific question was because somewhere I know you're a very emotional person as well.
I am.
So that is why I wanted to ask you this. So I thought, why not this platform to ask you this? But I know you are emotional for that matter, and you get bothered with little things at things around you. So good, you've been quite candid to answer me that.
No
So
problem.
Kit, I
You're my good friend. Of course, I'd answer it. Hello, everybody.
So, Kate, anything that you would like to change if you ever get an opportunity from the past, something that you feel that you can change you would want to, is something that you want to share? If that's something, a wish probably you
I
have
once had
with you that
a
you can change.
I once had a little dispute with a friend of mine because they said, you know, everybody has regrets in life, and I said, well, I don't. They said, you must have, you will have. I said, no, I don't. I don't have anything in my past that I want to change, because everything was, hi Fozia, everything I believe has been meant for me, and it's given me the tools to move ahead the way I have done. So I don't regret anything. There'll be a lot that disagree with that, but that's true from me.
But that's good. But you're happy with what it is around you. So, I mean, a lot of people have regrets. When I ask them this question, most of my questions aren't very common with everyone. But when I sometimes ask this question, and I always get an answer that they do have regrets, they do say that this is something that I want to do. Probably many of them come out with their professional life. So many of them say that we never wanted to do this, but we are into this for whatever. It may be some pressure, it may be the circumstances, and we would like to change that and do a different profession altogether, which was our dream, which could never got fulfilled. So I'm happy that you're quite content with what you are today.
I mean, of course, I'd love to delete the bank robber days, but that's about it. I'm joking, by the way.
So, Kid, any lockdown message that you like to give in terms of the business we guys are in? So are you. You have a modeling agency now. You're handling that, and of course you're into other things. Like I said, you're into acting.
Yes.
So because of the virus, because of this pandemic, because of this entire situation, how do you see really the business coming out of it? That part that probably is a big loss at this point in time. We are all indoors.
Well, it's very interesting because a lot of the castings now are being done online, so people don't have to travel as far to get to the auditions. I think it's obviously impacting a lot of people. A lot of people are now saying this is the new normal, so it'll take us a while to get back. Well, maybe we don't want to go back to how we were. Maybe we'll come back out of this hopefully a lot fresher and with a different perspective. I think it's taught everybody a lot of inner peace, and if they haven't found that inner peace yet, they may be still going through their dark hour of the soul, where you're suffering anxiety or you're suffering depression or whatever. And the thing to remember is, if you are going through dark things, to keep going through, because that means that you're getting there. You're hopefully getting through and you're going to become more peaceful. So don't quit. And I've had anxiety. I had anxiety in Los Angeles, being away from Danny, and I was out in LA with Jackson, my other boy, David, my darling, and we were all out there, and being away from one of my children, I was getting all sorts going on. But you have to see a finish line and keep going. If I can
is there someone you consult? Is there someone you talk to when you're in such a situation, Kate? Because a lot of people I know speak to you and you give them a roadmap, you give them a lot of advice. So how about you? When you come into such a situation, how do you manage that?
I try to talk to myself in a non-crazy way and just tell myself, you're fine, it's just stress, you're just stressed or anxious. Or I'll speak to my loved ones. And if I can't speak to my loved ones for whatever reason, I'll read a book. And after about 5 pages of that book, I've forgotten whatever it was that I was worrying about. So just keep changing your mindset, change your space if you feel a bit funny, do something different. It's all about energy.
Sure. I have somebody who's put in a message saying, I fear that someday we will see plastic virus more dangerous, more pandemic than the corona.
Yes, it's nuts. It's pandemic pandemonium at the moment, isn't it? Who saw this coming when we were making our New Year's resolutions? You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't obviously, I don't want to talk too much about that. Everybody's got their mixed views. I believe there's a lot wrong out there that's going on, and there's certain people in power that shouldn't be. But you know, all we can do is go inside and focus on our inner flames, because we're not going to be able to join the chess game that is being played at a much higher level on humanity.
Sure.
So our weapon is that we can go inside and we can meditate and we can concentrate on our consciousness and resonate that power.
Probably quite an advice where I agree with you that probably it's the time to work on yourself. You know, there are things I don't know how much I mean, many of us feel the same. I don't know how much you agree with me there as well. That there are things, like I said, that I've been doing now during this time, which I never got a chance to. So I always feel, I don't know how much can I really live onto what the words I'm saying though. But once all this is over, we are to back normal, then to a new normal. I would still want to keep that time, aside for such things that I've been doing around lockdown time.
Exactly. I think everybody getting those moments has been so rewarding individually for all of us. And we've been focusing more on the things we should have always focused on.
True.
All this instant technology and escaping and shopping online and everything's so instant. It's so nice to be disconnected and reconnected with what matters.
True. Disconnected and probably reconnect with a lot of people whom we've not had a chat in years.
Exactly.
And suddenly now, I mean, all thanks to lockdown, I'll give all the credit there that you and I are doing this chat. Otherwise, I would have never had this show.
It's amazing. We've got to do it more often now.
More often for sure. So, Kate, I'm going to, after this round, you're going to decide whether you want to chat with me again, because this is going to be a rapid fire round. So, after this segment, you may say, no, Ankit, I think this was good enough. Let's not have another live.
Okay.
So, sorry, I have one more guest who's writing. We should take back the positives from this. Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, yes, we completely agree with you.
That's true.
So, Kate, this is very interesting. I usually ask all my guests, and I'm like, you can't take time here. You have to be like very spontaneous on this. So you need to spell your name backwards. Can you do that?
Mallah. Oh, I did my surname.
Elizabeth.
H-T-A-K.
Elizabeth.
Oh my God. H-T-E-B-A-L-E-I. No, I didn't do it right.
You goofed up there. So it was B-A-Z-I-L-E. Well done, not bad. Yeah, I'll still give you 8 points for that. Okay, this is one word. I'm going to tell you one word. Tell me what comes to your mind. Nothing in description, just one word you need to tell me that comes to your mind on what I'm going to say. What comes to your mind if I say a notebook?
Creativity.
Alarm?
A what?
Alarm?
Headache.
Cheese?
Pickles.
Hot dog?
Tomato ketchup.
And the last one, notebook.
Notebook, creativity. That was the first one, wasn't it?
Did I ask you that? No.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Painter. Let's go on an artist then. Artist.
Artist. Beautiful picture.
But do you paint? Do you get time? Do you have, I mean, are you a painter? Like, do you like painting or sketching or something?
I do. I really do. I love painting nature, scenery, landscapes,
so,
especially.
Is that something that usually when you show it to people and they say wow, or they're like, what is this? Are you a good painter?
I think so. I haven't shown it to many, but the people that have seen my art said you've got a really good eye and a good stroke, so keep on with that, I think.
So, Kate, we're going to come a little towards the end of this entire chat that I've had with you. This has been a wonderful chat with you.
I hope you're all good.
But before we do that, Kate, there are 2 viewers' questions that I want to take in specific that I got from this. One of the viewers, I broadcasted the fact that you're going to come to my entire list. So, Shruti Saxena has put out a question asking that what was the feeling to be on a foreign land when you go to a different country, in specific India? What was the feeling? First, when you stepped.
Let me just tell a little backstory. Is when I was a little girl, I never understood where I belonged. When I used to have such profound questions as a child, I didn't feel I was from here, which is where I am from. I couldn't understand. It was all very mysterious. So I've always traveled a lot. And when I landed in India, I felt an immediate spiritual connection, as I imagine a lot of foreigners will talk about. But for me, it felt more than that. It felt home from home. It felt like I'd left my home and arrived in my home. It was bizarre. So it just immediate level of comfort for me. I love it. I'm missing it now. I'm going to get all tearful.
Oh, we're all going to wait for you to come here once everything is over.
Yeah,
But is it true as well, Kate, that is it true somewhere? I was reading through some articles, and um, I have a guest, Vidushi. She wants me to say hello to you from her side.
hello, lovely.
So is it true that I mean, I may be wrong, but what I read was that you always wanted to marry an Indian? Is that true?
I never thought I'd get married to anybody. So
Oh,
I don't think I said that. I think that's just one of the newspapers that said that. I think I married at the times, at the time that I married, because it was just the feeling that it felt the right thing to do. I didn't think, oh, he
but
must be tall with dark hair and, or he must be whatever. No,
but
it
but
happened in that moment.
but it's true because if I quote the article, it very clearly said that you had, quote unquote, you had said this, that you didn't even know, when you were getting married, when you of course fell in love with Lucky Ali and you were in a relationship, you never knew who he is in India.
I didn't, because we were in Bangalore, and I was working on a South movie, and he'd sang the soundtrack for that South movie, and part of the roof was falling in on the house, so I didn't imagine it was a Bollywood singer. I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. That's the truth. So
Okay, so that side of the article is correct then.
yeah,
That's not been
true.
misquoted.
Exactly.
So I have one more question for you, and the last one for you, Kate, is so there's this girl from she's here from Mumbai, Ritika Sharma, and she's asked me this thing that I want to be an actor. Uh, that's what I want to be. So I want to ask Kate that is modeling a way uh, to become an actor, or should she straight away concentrate on acting classes or join a acting academy sort of a thing, or should she go via being a model and explore herself there? But eventually she wants to be an actor. So what do you suggest?
I think it's great to nurture your craft, which is your acting, which is your love, and you're passionate about it. So to have the acting classes will get you one step ahead of those that think being a model will get them there. It might get them there. There might be the odd one that becomes a model and then they're lucky and snapped up for a movie. But that only happens very far and few between. Whereas if you're doing your modeling on the side and you're nurturing your acting career, then you're pretty packed with a good amount of ammunition, aren't you, to go out there? So I'd do it that way.
Right. I have a question here. I don't know if you want to read that out question. You can. It's one of your followers.
Could you ask her how much probability there is for Kate to fall in love again? I'm in love again. I am in love again. I'm in love. I have my darling in my life, David, and I'm very, very happy.
So before I end this conversation, Kate, I have a question while you were answering one of the questions I'd asked you. That you
Yeah.
said you thought just don't want to get married. You never thought you were going to get married. So any
No.
ideology or any thought behind that? Why was this? Why did you have that sort of a notion?
Because I just didn't. I was too busy enjoying being a free spirit and traveling, and some people look for that, and I just go off a feeling, and if you get the feeling at the time, then it makes sense. But I wasn't feeling it up until the point that I felt that feeling to do so. Then I did it. Hi, Alman. My friend Alman is watching.
Hi, Almond. Welcome to this show.
Thank you
I
so
hope you've
much.
enjoyed this.
And
Welcome. In
everybody,
fact, I've
Ankit is the most wonderful presenter.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, for all of you who've missed and you just joined in, we are coming to the end of the entire chat. But I will soon have this entire chat on my Instagram. I'm going to save it. I'm going to
Okay.
make sure that my team puts this entire chat on the YouTube on my channel, which I'll share with you, and you can share with everybody, your followers and your listeners.
Fabulous. And does everybody like my bangles?
Oh, I mean, I couldn't even see that
I
niche. Oh,
love them.
it's lovely. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So supposedly you're very bony, so I think all the bangle sizes are going to be big on you.
I think so. Exactly.
So
That's okay.
is there any time when you go to a kids section and shop for yourself?
Pardon?
Do you go to a kids section and shop for yourself?
No, because I'm tall. So they'll be too short. They fit though. Some do.
So, Kate, we are going to come towards the end of this entire chat where I have a contest for all the viewers. And
Okay.
I'm going to put out two questions, which is going to be for all the viewers here in India and there as well. And
Okay.
anybody who can answer these questions first on my DM, please do not write the answers here on this chat. We are going to make sure that we can give the gift hampers from Voila Accessories. So I must
Okay.
tell you, Kate, that Voila Accessories here in India is a very well-known brand for accessories for men and women, both.
Fabulous.
Yes, so they have this Dare collection for men, and now
Yes.
that they've started making face masks and even handcrafted gloves, and that's the need of the hour.
Oh wow, that sounds great. I must check them out when I
So,
come there.
absolutely, they've got these. I think they've got more than about 70, 80 stores all over India, and even the other brand that we have on board is Gem Mines, which is the certified gems, which is based
Lovely.
out of Delhi, but pan India they've been doing their business.
Wow, fabulous. Well, very good luck to them with their business. And I want to say hi to Rahul. He just messaged me saying he saw the feed and it was fun. Hi, Rahul. And Encentium, how is the band going? I'm still playing bass guitar and that's very fun. And all's good. Music keeps me going.
So this band of yours has like how many members is it? I mean, it's of the entire. We didn't talk about the band though, so you
Well,
want to say a few
I
words on
play
that?
bass guitar I play guitar and bass guitar in different projects. So my last project was in Hollywood at the Dolby Theatre and I played with a pop band there. That was great fun. I've played with the Beach Boys before and then at the moment I'm learning my bass in case the opportunity arose to go out on the road again. So oh, you write English
Any
songs, Samrit, brilliant.
any last? There's this last words that you want to say, like something that you want to say to all the viewers in general about life, about the situation, about anything that any advice that you want to give for all the viewers.
I just think just keep doing what you do and keep being great. Keep smiling at this time. Smile throughout it all because if today's a bit of a weird, not a fun day, tomorrow is a brand new day. So never feel down for long and keep your spirits high. Sending lots of love to everybody.
Great advice, Kate. Great advice. And I know if I have something that I need to discuss and I want to talk, I know whom to call. It's you.
Yeah, exactly, Ankit. And same with you. I love you. You're a good friend.
Always there for you, Kate. Any time. I think we've off and on we keep sending voice notes to each other, and
Exactly.
I think that's the best way to connect. If even if you're not able to talk for a for a long call, but
Yeah.
it's wonderful to have you on Candid with Ankit Nagpal, Kate, and.
Thank you.
Seriously, it was a great pleasure to have a chat with you because when you know somebody for so many years and you know somebody for like I said, I know you for almost 8 years now. So there are a lot of questions that I was feeling that now if I ask you in general off this
Yeah.
chat it would have been very awkward. So it's good that now that I can ask you, I can use this platform, and I asked you a lot of questions that I wanted to know about you. So I got the answers.
Anytime.
Thank you, Kate. So these two questions, while you're here, I'm going to put this out. In fact, actually, I just have 23 seconds remaining
Okay.
with this chat. So I may just come back and put the questions out. But before
Okay.
that, then I'm going to say a nice goodbye to you. Thank you so much, Kate. I'm going to come back live and put the questions.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Kate. Lots of
Thank
love.
you.
Take care.
Lots of love.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you.